This is the movement assessment that I'm gonna have you film yourself going through to submit to me so I can see how you're moving and where you're tight and how strong your core is to begin. So let's go through it. There are 6 different mobility exercises and then 1 stability exercise. Also important to note with these, about 3 to 5 good reps is what I'm looking for with each one of these. So starting with the shoulder reach, this is going to let me know how well your shoulders move, both in internal rotation and external rotation. So you'll face away from the camera and film yourself reaching your hands as close as you can. And I'm gonna look to see how far are your fists away from each other. Now, important to note with that one, don't try to wiggle your torso. Keep everything still and just see what your arms give you. Okay, number 2, we're gonna go into forward fold. This is going to assess the tightness of the backside of the body. So we call those muscles the posterior chain. They're the muscles from the neck all the way down to the heels and actually the bottoms of the feet. So you're going to tuck your chin and round one segment of your spine at a time and see how far you can reach down while you keep your knees locked. The key part with this is keeping the knees locked. Don't cheat yourself. See how far you can reach. Number 3 is squat. So classic shoulder width squat. You're gonna set your feet shoulder width apart. Your toes are gonna point out at 2 p.m. and 10 p.m. So if you imagine the hands on a clock, 2 p.m. for the right foot, 10 p.m. for the left foot. So we have a slight bit of turnout. Then you're gonna cross your arms and keep your elbows level with your shoulders. So as you squat, that's gonna be the limiting factors. How low can you go where your elbows stay level with your shoulders and your back also stays flat? That's also what I'm looking for. Number 4 is a quadruped reach. It's going to assess how well you can move in your mid-back, your thoracic spine. So we have these 3 different parts of the spine. The upper is the cervical, the mid-back is the thoracic, the low back is the lumbar. This lets me know how well you rotate in your thoracic spine. So really important to move well and not be in pain. We got to be able to move well in the mid-back. So that's what we're testing with that. You're going to go into a bear crawl position, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and then you're going to try to reach up with one arm. Now, the important thing to note with that is, say you're reaching up with your right arm. With your left side, imagine you're leaning up against a wall, and you can actually put yourself up against a wall and then perform that movement because you don't want to lean. If you lean, it's cheating. So I want to see front-facing view of how high does your arm get. Moving on to the split squat, that is the hip mobility, especially in the front test. It's going to let us know how mobile or tight you are in the front of your hip, along with your groin and your ankle. Okay, so make sure that your feet are hip width apart for that, and then it's the side angle filming for this. Your back leg is straight. Keep your back knee lifted the whole time. Don't let it bend. That's your limiting factor, along with the final point for the split squat is that your shoulders are over your hips the whole time. Okay. Finally, then we have world's greatest, and this is going to assess the mobility in your groin. Key part for this is that your knee needs to be over your ankle with that. If your knee is forwards, it's not as an accurate of an assessment. I want to see how far you can reach your elbow for the ground. So you can do a front 45-degree angle for that so that I can see that your knee's over your ankle, and then I can see how far your elbow is going. Okay? The knee shouldn't move while you do that. Those are all the mobility tests. After that, you're going to do a single arm plank where you're going to go from a push-up position. You're going to put your hands so that your fingertips are touching. They'll be closer together. Your feet will be shoulder width apart. And then the focus is to tuck your hips, brace your stomach, push the ground away, and then bring one arm behind your back and try to keep your shoulders and your hips facing the ground. So your hips are gonna wanna hike up and they're gonna wanna go back. Your job is to keep them in, keep the glute engagement, try to keep your shoulders and the hips square to the ground without anything else collapsing. Okay, the tough part with that is keeping the tuck in the hips. Your low back's gonna wanna arch. Try not to let that happen, and film yourself from the front side angle for that. Passing score for this is 45 seconds. It's a tough test. More so focus on the cues and see how long you can hold the cues for instead of trying to compensate. All right, so those are our 7 tests. I look forward to seeing what the videos look like.